Welcome to Top Video Game Podcast of the Week from HorribleNight.com. It is August 8th, 2013. I'm your host, Justin Lacey. Tonight, joined by the other Justin Gifford. How's it going, man?
Hey, not too bad, dude.
You look like you might be a little sleepy. Am I keeping you up past your bedtime?
No, but the dogs woke up about 5:45 this morning, so...
Is puppy ownership getting any better, or is it going to hit a valley here pretty soon and then get better?
No, it has been getting better. Carrie woke up to use the restroom, and if you move, they wake up. So, and then they start barking and they want to get up. So,
gotcha. Well, yeah. Before we get to our interactive portion of the show, we've got our game of the week, worst of the week, and best of the week in gaming. But we're also doing a special Puppy Games giveaway this week. We bought a couple extra copies of the Puppy Games Ultra Bundle, and members from our chat audience have contributed their answers to the show. And so after the show, I'm going to be announcing a winner there. But before that, what else have you been up to, Gifford?
We got started. I did the Kickstarter for the Veronica Mars movie because I really enjoyed the show. Mm. And then my wife found out how much I bid on the Kickstarter. And she was like, wow, those are really cool prizes, but if you spend all that money, it needs to be worthwhile. We need to watch the entire series. So we've been watching that, or rewatching in my part. And the first time I watched it was 7 years ago. So
I think you won somehow.
Brand new.
It sounded like she was trying to punish you for spending too much money on that, but now you're watching the whole show with your wife.
She was mad about it, and then I showed her the Kickstarter kickoff video, and she was like, "Wait, that looks good." And I was like, "Yeah." Plus, she loves Kirsten Bell and Dax Shepard. So
yeah. So tell me about. Well, first of all, I don't know a damn thing about the show, but sell me on
it. It's really sort of smart writing, but her dad's a detective. And she does some sort of detective work, too. So she's in, high school and then college for the third season. And then it got canceled because people are stupid. But it's just really funny and really well written. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then, so they're hoping to do a movie from the Kickstarter? Did they say?
Oh, yeah. Their Kickstarter raised, I think their goal was $3 million. Might have been $3 million, and they raised, 12.
Wow. So,
yeah, they raised more money than anybody has ever raised on a film project.
That's awesome. I think after that I saw Zach Braff doing his thing for his pseudo Garden State sequel, but Veronica Mars was the first Kickstarter that was film related that I, other than that I just thought it was just for stuff I wasn't interested in and random video games. So, it's kind of interesting to see the other projects.
All right, Verdian's got the numbers. They wanted $2 million and it raised 5.7. So,
all right, that's awesome. I like it when the fans come together. So, have they put a timeline or anything on that movie, or given any updates since?
They just wrapped shooting.
Oh shit! Okay, so that happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're gonna be. I think comes out spring of next year, maybe.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, here we go. Here's the link.
Latest and greatest from Veronica Mars.
All right, I have to log in through a wall.
Right. We'll say spring.
Anyway, it comes out next year.
We'll say spring, and if we're wrong, it was Giftor's fault. Verdian tried to help him out. So I bought the latest, I guess, the gadget of the week. Google just started shipping their Chromecast devices. Do you know anything about this? Do you know?
It takes stuff and puts it on your TV screen?
Pretty much.
That's pretty much all I know. It's a dongle, right?
Yeah, it's just a dongle that you plug into your HDMI, and it gives you an excuse to say the word dongle, which I think is an awesome word. And basically allows you to just stream things directly from your Chrome browser on your laptop or your tablets or your phone. And then it also has support for Netflix and YouTube right now, and they're adding more apps to it. So It's like it's $35, so it's a lot cheaper than say your $100 Roku players and those sort of devices. But why I wanted to try it out was just because the hassle of just trying to throw whatever you've got in your web browser onto your TV, like that novelty was what I was trying to solve. It doesn't happen very often, but it's just kind of a neat thing to be able to do. So we got home, and I was just putting up my favorite YouTube videos on the TV, and I started watching. We had a Horrible Night stream going on, so we were watching Twitch TV on the big screen, and that was worth the price of admission for me. I don't think it's going to replace my Roku players as my go-to device until some more apps get built out, but this is a nice little useful, cheap, futuristic device. Just, throwing up what's on your computer onto your TV really, really easily is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gadget, but I don't know. It seemed interesting, but like,
do you do much streaming at all?
No.
So you're
I'm happy with if I'm watching something internet related, I'm either happy with using my tablet if I'm upstairs, or if I'm downstairs, I can pull anything I want through Windows Media Center. So
yeah, I never really played too much with that stuff. With Windows Media Center, I always tried to find ways to go around that for some reason. But since we cut the cable and we become a 100% streaming household, having new toys to play with is always fun. So. Oh
yeah, we still have the cable.
Okay, on to video games. Game of the week time. I'm a little worried about your selection, so.
I'm sorry.
tell me why we need to talk about Aliens: Colonial Marines again.
We need to talk about it because I am on a budget right now. I think
I'm scraping the barrel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Of my soul.
We had a tree fall, and then I have a clutch problem that I'm having addressed right now. Just a bunch of crap we weren't expecting to spend money on. So, I was like, well, you know what? I pre-ordered this goddamn game that I've been waiting for almost 5 years. I'm gonna play it. So I've been playing it, and it alternates between passable and wow, this would have been state of the art in like 2002. I mean, like the face art is just horrible. I mean, it would have looked awesome. Not even this generation of consoles. It looks like the original Knights of the Old Republic.
I thought you were going to say like Shadows of the Empire.
No, it's better than that. But the gameplay's okay.
So wait, are you playing solo?
I'm playing solo on the hardest setting.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the only way to try to enjoy it is what I've heard. So, because I could get into the isolationism side of it, like the whole appeal, like it's fun to bro up and go in with your fellow Marines, but because the game's so dumb, it just destroys the difficulty. I would rather, like when I'm playing an Aliens game, I would rather feel isolated and get scared and feel kind of helpless, and that group setting kind of wasn't what I was going for. But
well, and on top of that, like the best Aliens related game is Aliens vs. Predator 2 on the PC. Mm-hmm. And because when you played as the Marine,
you're helpless.
You were screwed. Which is how you're supposed to feel. So it's fine. I probably played a worse game that wasn't Spelunky, but I can't think.
Getting your digs in now. I've got backup. I'm fine.
But yeah, it's bad.
So,
but I can deal with it. I'm gonna beat it.
Do you? I know we're old and our memories aren't quite what they used to be, but when we went to PAX 2-3 years ago and you actually saw the demo for this,
the demo looked so much better.
Okay, I was afraid of that.
So much better. I mean, I realize I'm playing on a console, but like, there's no excuse for the way that this game looks.
That's because you were pretty hyped after that demo. Like you're like, these guys have got it, and a lot of people were that way. And since I didn't actually witness any of the demos they're talking about, and these are the ones that people are like, kind of still pointing their finger at, that you misled us, and Gearbox screwed everything up type of thing. And but yeah, you as like there are a few games that you get hyped for as far as like unless you're already kind of
I don't get excited about a lot of games,
right?
Like I'm like, oh, that sounds cool, but
yeah, you and Josh were harping about this game for years, and I was sad to see them just crush you guys. So
yeah, it was when we saw it at PAX, it was still like a year. It was a year away from its scheduled release at the time, and then they pushed it back like another 8 months or something. And I'm seeing this demo going, you guys are a year away from release. This looks sweet, and yeah, it's not.
It's no. Well, so you're gonna try to push through just to do it?
Yeah, like I said, I spent $60 on the thing. I'm gonna beat it. If nothing else, I can say, hey, I beat this game.
I spent $40 on it and played it for 2 hours the first night it came out, and haven't gone back since. So
it actually, I will give it props. It does get a little better after about. I say 3 hours in, but like if you're playing on the hardest setting, you actually die the semi-regular amount. So.
All right, well, let's move on to a happy place for you, because I'm excited to talk about my game of the week is Spelunky. It's also Michael Dean and Aaron's game of the week. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Aaron confused me. He mentions 3 games and then changes his mind at the end, so I'll get to that. But Spelunky is out on PC this week. The reason you should care is because...
You're a masochist and you hate yourself.
And you should care because they added daily challenges. So I've played the first one, and all this really amounts to, it looks like, I'm guessing they're not going to throw any twists in here, is they just... You enter the daily challenge, and it starts from the first level, just like everything else, but everybody's playing the same set of levels, and it kind of tallies up your score and your speed, and puts your name up on the leaderboard. So, and you can compare it with your masochistic friends, which I have a good number of them. So, Gift Tour is not one of those, but
No.
I mean, so I really enjoyed this game on the 360. So much to the point where I think I piqued your curiosity. I might be filling in my own answers here.
That's true. I downloaded it.
And you tried it out, but you don't like Spelunky.
No, I don't.
Is it just because, was it enjoyable at all? Where's the hatred come from?
It was pretty funny when I pissed off the shopkeeper and then killed him. I liked that part. Other than that, no, it's just so frustrating and annoying and hard and stupid. Like, the controls suck, and I don't like it.
The controls are tight. I don't know what you're talking about. It does exactly what you need them to do. Because, my favorite element of the game is that at any point, well, not at any point, but as you're exploring the level and trying to get as much gold as you can to get your score up, or rescue the damsels in distress, or, steal whatever magical idol is on the level, or talk to the shopkeeper, if you waste too much time, the ghost appears. The giant ghost appears, and he hunts you down, and he tries to kill you. So there's there's a limited amount of time to get through these levels. So in that aspect, it's trying to tell you to run all the time. But if you run, you're gonna screw up. You're gonna fall into a trap. You're gonna fall too far. You're gonna jump into an enemy. Like, everything is telling you to sprint through this level, and it's actually really fun to sprint. I think the way he scurries is really, really cute and fun to jump around, but you're gonna screw up when you do it. And I just that balance of always trying to fight yourself from rushing through it or thinking you're better than you are, because the most fun part about this game is when you screw up, and I think that kind of makes or breaks the fans. You either enjoy that or you don't, and I crack up when I screw up. I get
pissed off. Game. Yeah, and to be to be completely clear on this, it's not that I can't stand platformers that you die a lot, because Super Meat Boy and Explosion Man, freaking loved them. I hate Splunky. I hate it.
It's a little bit more methodical, but it doesn't necessarily look that way. And I don't know. You can't
figure out what you need to do because the level changes every time.
Yeah. I need to... Okay, and I have a new mission, is to find you a roguelike that you actually enjoy.
I do like Binding of Isaac.
Yeah. I think that's a great entry-level roguelike. So maybe we'll find you a second one.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, it can be frustrating if you try to... You want to be a completionist and see everything, but I don't know. For some reason, I go into Spelunky with a different mindset. I want to play it for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and I go back to it a lot. And now I'm excited that I have more leaderboards to play with it, and more people are excited about it. So, lots of Spelunky in my near future. Games of the week from chat. Like I said, Aaron confused me. He loves Spelunky, and he's been playing a hell of a lot of Binary Domain, but Dragon's Crown is his game of the week. I just picked that up on Vita. It's an amazing RPG brawler. If you've got a PS3 or a Vita, highly recommend checking that out. Coop is blowing through Devil May Cry, DMC Devil May Cry. Cole has jumped back into Ni no Kuni, just because he likes the whimsy so much. Verdian has recently completed Trine 2. I really need to play that. And then one game I think you should check out, Gifford, doesn't require... it just released on Steam, is Papers, Please.
Yeah, I saw this blow up like today. I think it was in Twitter. Just exploded.
Yeah, it was just released today.
Hell?
Yep.
What is it?
Essentially, you're in charge of border security in an Eastern Bloc nation. Like, people come up to you for admittance into the country, and you have to check over the regulations and check what they're getting and accept or deny the person, and things happen, and it's funny and hilarious and kind of weird. So, yeah, that is Happy Matt's game of the week. So I'll be checking that out soon because it seems to be really different from anything else I'm playing. So, as far as stuff that's been going on Horrible Night, what did you like on the site recently?
Oh God, Ethan's Gaming Cynic was. I laughed out loud at it, especially towards the end when he was asking for two diametrically opposed things from a game maker that needed to be in the same system.
I wish it could hit the audience that really needs to read it, because there's been so much just around. I mean, trying to keep gamers happy is a fool's errand, and I think he just kind of nailed it on his head. And I think you and I appreciate his satire quite a bit.
Yeah, there was something I saw on Twitter today that was similar. That it just killed me.
Let's see. One of his things that he did. Let me find it. When he said, just basically rules to follow to always consider when you're making your video games is, one rule is games aren't art, they're supposed to be fun. And the rule after that is games are art, they're supposed to be meaningful. And
yes,
those two groups battling each other, those are like the worst trolling fights flame wars out there. So, I don't know. And there's also a funny Photoshop of his cat that looks like Pikachu. So, it's got everything. All right, on to the worst of the week in gaming, just the things that have been going on in the headlines that have bugged you in the last week or so. Let's start with chat's answers, actually. Aaron's upset because he can't play Pikmin 3 because he doesn't have enough money to justify... Well, he can't justify a Wii U purchase because he just bought a car. I'm sure, even if you haven't bought a car...
a Wii U purchase otherwise?
I think I set you up for that one.
Yeah, you just set him up, I'll knock him down.
I read today that Nintendo kind of reconfirmed, or somebody reconfirmed, Nintendo's still taking a loss on the Wii U's. So anybody hoping for that price drop...
$50 a console.
It's going to get ugly here when the new ones come out. Let's see. Coop is upset that DuckTales isn't out yet. And Cole is not liking the fact that Bethesda is not doing any Wii U development. They announced that at QuakeCon, that they're not looking at that. While Spelunky is Dean's Game of the Week, he's not very good at Spelunky, so that's his worst of the week. And Verdian posted a link to a pretty interesting article. I'll post it in the show notes later. Just that there are a lot of fan-made games out there, and some of the developers are just talking about their fear of being sued by the larger companies. Like, you've seen Capcom's embraced some, denied others. Like, I recently was playing Mega Man Unlimited, which, if you're looking at it, what you would think Capcom developed that game. But that one hasn't been embraced, but also hasn't been denied by Capcom. But there are some other companies out there that squash these projects right out of the gate, and it's risky if you actually make a great fan-made game that pays homage to your favorite games. It could go either way at this point, which kind of sucks. Yeah. But what's your worst of the week, Gifford?
Well, before I do the worst of the week, this is my second worst of the week, which is summed up in one guy's tweet. People were complaining about a free 3-month early unboxing of a console that no one forced them to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the internet.
Yeah.
I actually kind of enjoyed watching that unboxing. But my worst of the week has probably got to be the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's... I'm sure the technology's fine. Does some kind of neat things, but I just don't know why in the hell they would make this thing. Yeah. You've got the standalone, the 3DS, and the Vita, and you've got smartphones and tablets. And this thing runs on Android. It will run some games through Steam. Mm-hmm. And, they were talking about, you can stream it directly to your TV. And I was like, I can already play Steam on a TV if I want to. I don't understand why. And there's a shortage of rare earth metals, which is what they use for a lot of these high-end electronics. And NVIDIA's just wasting them in this stupid... it's got to be a vanity project.
I think it's a cool piece of hardware. I don't know who the hell the audience is for it, because I feel like you almost have to be... It has to be in for gadget fans, but they probably have everything else around to accomplish everything this does, except for the streaming to the Shield, so you can play away from your computer. That would be the one draw for me, but the price tag, that's not worth it. Like, some of these games, I don't know. There's other means to do this, so it seems like a cool experiment, but I can't. I don't.
It's a cool
there's no way it succeeds.
But it shouldn't have made it to market.
I don't know who the audience is, and what a weird kind of thing for piece of hardware for NVIDIA to, I don't know, get behind. It's a cool prototype. You demo this kind of thing at CES, and somebody continues to iterate off of it till it becomes something useful. I think you kind of nailed it. I don't know how this got through product testing and is actually going to be out in the wild when I don't know. There's just so many devices around it.
They're going to lose money on it.
Yeah,
no question.
That could be interesting. My worst of the week was Ubisoft came out and admitted that they do have an end in sight for Assassin's Creed. And
that's your worst?
Yeah, because they don't have basically a deadline for it. They know how they're going to wrap it up. They don't have it's going to be after this many number of games. They essentially have this, they're going to keep this going until they can't, and then they're going to end it, is all that says to me. And I don't know, for a series that had a hell of a lot of soul when it started, it seems to be even more aimless, and I'm really bitter. I will just admit that I'm bitter about my Assassin's Creed 3 experience and kind of where things have gone since then, and could not be less interested in Black Flag. but just hearing them try to placate that they have a plan for this. They don't have a plan for this. They're just going to just keep adapting every game until it doesn't sell anymore.
Yeah, they're going to do the Guitar Hero model.
Yeah, and they've turned it into Call of Duty, and this was kind of just me admitting that. Like, they'll keep Call of Duty going until they can't, and I just never would have predicted Assassin's Creed to be one of those series, and this just kind of, I don't know, just another nail in that coffin for me of, I wanted to be a really big fanboy of this series, but it just gets harder and harder, so. Sorry to spin that in no negative light, but yeah, if they were saying we know what the ending is and we're going to end it after Black Flag or 2 or 3 games from now, but it's just this series needs some more momentum and they're still just kind of stalling. So
yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to, now that I've been inducted in the cult, I'm probably going to keep playing Call of Duty games until I at least get one game where I can have like a plasma rifle, because that would be sweet.
I think there are plenty of other games to get a plasma rifle.
No, fine.
Best of the week. Happy news. So my best of the week was the initial reviews for the game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I believe I have that name right. It's generic, easy to forget. Anyway, this is from Starbreeze, and these are the guys that worked on the Riddick games and the first Darkness game. And so you don't, all of a sudden they're doing a like fantasy adventure game. And so I didn't really know what to make of it. This is the first and kind of headliner for the Xbox Live Summer of Arcade. But it's been getting really good reviews, and they've said the story is especially kind of has some emotional resonance to it for anybody that, as far as like building up the story between these brothers, they did a really great job. The kind of gameplay mechanic that it hinges on is that you control one brother with the left stick and one brother with the right stick, and you kind of solve puzzles and get through scenarios that way. So this had fallen off my radar, but I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, you were telling me about that launch day, and it sounds intriguing, especially coming from Starbreeze Studios. So.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. And then they just, I don't know why this keeps happening, but the Xbox Live Arcade exclusive window is getting shorter and shorter because the game came out Wednesday, and Thursday they already announced that it'll be out for the PC by the end of the month, and next month for PlayStation 3. So if you were thinking about jumping platforms for it, it's probably coming to what you need it to soon enough. From chat, what do we got here? Aaron, lots of DuckTales love. First, actually, Coop and Cole their best of the week is that DuckTales comes out in 5 days. And Aaron's best of the week is that some people will have DuckTales as their game of the week next week. So, I don't know. I love DuckTales, but I'm now in the, is this game going to still be fun to play camp? Like, how will it hold up? It looks great. Like, the visuals look fantastic, and the fact that they brought back the actual DuckTales actors to do voices and stuff for this game is awesome. But
are they wearing pants this time?
No pants allowed in DuckTales. I don't know. I hate being skeptical, but that's usually what happens to me. Is like, a game like this gets announced, I get super excited, get super nostalgic. Leading up to that like week before release, I just get super nervous and skeptical, and then I will still get it anyway, and then probably love it out of the gate, and then admit that it has some faults a week later. So there's my review of DuckTales before I get to play it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how Lacey works.
Michael Dean is excited because we came up with an idea for while we were playing Mercenary Kings of coming up with corporate Dickfish patches, because his mercenary was named Dickfish. Any of you that saw our Awesome Knots video detailing the creation of the Dickfish nickname, Dean has fully embraced this nickname and is hard at work at developing corporate Dickfish patches to go on your military jackets. Just picture it.
I don't want to.
Nomar, best of the week is that he finally bought into his first Humble Bundle. I'm assuming that was the Deep Silver one. There's a handful of games. If you like the older Saints Row games, those were in there. And then pay extra to get everything Dead Island. Verdean has been cheating on our live streams and watching a hell of a lot of the International 3, the Dota 2 official Dota 2 tournament. Their prize pool is up to $2.8 million. Gifford, we're in the wrong business. We need to take our games more seriously.
No, that's not retirement money, but it's close.
Yeah.
I mean, we could move, as long as we get a fast enough connection, we could probably just move to Mexico and live off that.
That's not a bad idea. What is your best of the week?
My best of the week is actually the Xbox One launch kit, because Xbox, this may be a study in contrast, because they screwed up so badly at E3 that every time they do something where I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, it just looks way better than it actually is, and I'm aware that's a possibility. But, they unboxed it, and, they went ahead and packed an HDMI cable in there, which is not huge, but it's something. They're not screwing around with not including the headsets, although they are $25 if you don't buy it, or if you don't, you need another one. And you can, the charge and play and charge kits, I believe, are micro USB, so you don't really have to screw around with a bunch of proprietary stuff.
That's cool, yeah.
So it's not some huge, super exciting thing, but it was kind of nice to see that at least they're not nickel and diming on some of this stuff. Perhaps somebody realized that they had just biffed super hard.
Yeah, I mean, they threw in what they needed to. I'm glad they kind of changed their minds and included at least one headset. And also, like you were saying about the micro USB, the fact that you can use these as wireless or wired controllers, and you'll probably be able to plug it right into your PC as well. That's probably been the unsung hero of the 360, is the fact of just how universal their controller is now. The fact that it's the de facto PC controller too is, you're getting some mileage out of that $50, and I know Verdean was saying that the price of the Xbox One controller is going to be high, and I'm sure the PS4 one will be too. It's going to be $60, but getting more mileage about
the
those.
Xbox 360 controllers were $50.
Yeah, so yeah, that's not too surprising, but those are still across the board expensive controllers.
Yeah,
no 50 question. Was too much. So I guess I wouldn't have paid attention to this if people hadn't gotten upset about it. Kind of like you were saying earlier. Like, if you don't want to watch an unboxing video, you don't have to. This was useful information for me. I don't know if maybe they got mad that they read what was in the box. I don't know. I've never been one for unboxing videos, or I'm still gonna have that new console moment, no matter whether or not I know what's in the box. There's still something different about opening your console for the first time.
Yeah, I didn't understand what people were pissed about. You already knew what was going to be in it, more or less, and on top, it was a 2-minute video. You knew, you've seen the goddamn Xbox One, you've seen the controller. There's essentially nothing that they showed you in there. I don't understand what people are pissed about.
I'm going to lead this into our final question, just because, not to label you, but it's a little easier for this conversation, that you were one of the few defenders of the Xbox One after E3 on our site, even before all the policy changes and kind of the 180 stuff that Microsoft's been doing. But where's your excitement level for the Xbox One now and for the next gen in general?
Well, I mean, I think my position on the entire next gen in general hasn't changed in 18 months or 2 years, when we first started talking about it, which was, I would be perfectly happy to continue playing on the Xbox 360 sort of indefinitely.
Okay.
Like this generation, like the graphics are good enough. Like I can't imagine they're going to do anything like, oh, there's more particles. I've have you played Oblivion? Or not Oblivion?
Do you know what you're talking about? Skyrim?
Yeah, you played Skyrim? Like, really? We need some. I don't know. So, and I don't think that suddenly gameplay is going to get magically better. So, yeah, generally I'm not super psyched, but.
Did you pre-order an Xbox One?
No.
Okay. But But you're planning on a launch day purchase?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, you're still talking. It's not like back in the old days when there was at least one game packaged with it. You're still talking to probably $600.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not a small amount of change, especially right around Christmas.
Sure.
So we'll see if it's launch day. And I partly feel trapped into the ecosystem. Like, I really don't want to give up 50,000 gamer points go over to trophies. Like, that is one. I'm completely honest. That is one thing that's keeping me on the Xbox.
I mean, I was hardcore about my gamer profile on 360 for like up till about probably 9 months ago, and I don't know what it was. Like, I've jumped ship more to the PC and to Steam's community lately, but I bounce around. The PSN is still kind of lagging behind from that community side, and I do hesitate investing heavily into that. But that's not why I pre-ordered the PS4. It wasn't for the community features. I'll be curious to see. I don't know. I like talking to you about it because it grounds me a little bit more. I see the graphical differences and the leap to the next gen that they were kind of displaying with Titanfall and etc. But it's there, but it isn't as impactful as previous generations.
Like, it's not the jump from the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube, PS2, Xbox level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not even close.
I think it's more exciting because you just look at how this console cycle has gone on for so long, like just how mutated the user experiences are and the platform itself is, the operating system of both Sony and Microsoft's consoles have just changed completely, and they need a reboot. They need to start from scratch and actually be able to out of the gate support all of these kind of unifying community features that have been added over the years, apps and that sort of thing. And I think having that restart is going to have a bigger impact than I think a lot of people give it credit for. It's just going to be, honestly, anytime I start my PS3 or 360, I hear that jet engine starting up next to me. You just kind of wonder, like, how many more startups does this thing actually have? And beyond just the technology leap, just having more memory, more power, and a smarter designed operating system for the way gamers are playing these days, I think is a good thing. So
yeah. On the other hand, for some reason, some jackass at both companies thinks we want motion control.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I want to do with Netflix instead of using a remote control? I want to wave my hand at the screen.
Or talk to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben Kuchera had an entire article. I think it was Ben Kuchera. It was on Penny Arcade anyway, about all this stuff, and it was he just nailed everything about both the Xbox One and sort of this generation, or the upcoming generation.
Mm-hmm. Chat's kind of talking about that whole leap from the PlayStation 2 to the 3, and I remember when they announced the 360, which I thought was like way too early. Like, the Xbox wasn't really that old, but Microsoft needed to get out ahead. And I remember saying at the time, like, seeing some of those initial trailers, like, I don't really notice the difference in the graphics that you're showing me. Like, this doesn't look much better. until I got that HD experience with Gears of War. And so it could be that these initial games may not show us everything, because honestly, I think a lot of the technology advances are more in the background, like for just being able to do more, not necessarily like up the the definition, or the you're not going to notice the difference in the polygon counts, that sort of thing, but just being able to do some of the cloud processing stuff and do more calculations with more objects on the screen will give you a denser experience than, like, density is harder to it's like a harder selling point, I guess, but I think we will kind of wake up and realize how much more immersive some of these games are after we've experienced them. Maybe not so much a jaw-dropping wow moment right out of the gate.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, enough next gen talk. We've got a lot of time to talk about that this year, but that's going to do it for tonight's show. Gifford, thanks for jumping on, man.
Hey, no sweat.
Chat, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your answers this week. And we're going to wrap up here, and I will announce the winner of our Puppet Games Ultra Bundle giveaway. We'll see you next time.